in the fourth week of Lent, we examine the hymn, My Song is Love Unknown. This profound and absolutely beautiful poem on the meaning of love as exemplified in the life of Jesus Christ is matched to a tune truly of equal beauty. In this form, it is now found in many English-language hymnals around the world. This poetry has had a pattern of long neglect, which was followed by great popularity, and both of these aspects characterize the history of this text. It originally appeared as one of the 9 poems in The Young Man's Meditation, or Some Few Sacred Poems Upon Select Subjects and Scriptures, by Samuel Crossman, London, 1664. None of these was taken into 18th century hymnal collections. Although 3 other poems by Crossman found their way into various hymnals in the first half of the 19th century, My Song is Love Unknown remained unused until the hymnologist Daniel Sedgwick reprinted Crossman's small collection a few centuries later in 1863. Soon afterwards, it was included in an 1868 hymn book, and after being summed to some hymn melodies, it was eventually set to the splendid tune which composer John Ireland specifically wrote for it, the perfect vehicle for this text. Crossman's text is based primarily on Matthew's account of the Passion, especially chapter 27. There are many other specific Bible references in the hymn, including verses from Mark and John and Luke and also Philippians. It is possible that the phrase love unknown in the opening title derives from George Herbert's allegorical poem by that title. Another line may also be an intentional echo of the refrain of another George Herbert work, The Sacrifice. Narrating Christ's passion in the first person singular, the first 62 stanzas, 62, of that meditative poem end with the question, was ever grief like mine? And the final stanza concludes, never was grief like mine. Like George Herbert and the other metaphysical poets, Samuel Crossman has adapted to devotional purposes the tone and intensity associated more with Renaissance love poetry. Indeed, the opening line of the hymn could easily serve as the lament of a lovelorn suitor. Crossman also has a prolific use of standard poetic devices, such as wordplay, love to the loveless shown that they might lovely be, oxymoron, sweet injuries, irony, a murderer they save, the prince of life they slay, and paradox, he to suffering goes, that he his foes from thence might free. These devices, though, gain fresh luster and carry real conviction, since they are here applied to an event capable of sustaining all this heightened emotion, the suffering of our Jesus Christ for the salvation of all humanity. As for the music, English composer John Ireland wrote for many different instruments and ensembles, but choir singers will recognize his service music and his 2 big anthems, Greater Love Hath No Man, and the beautiful motet for young voices, Ex Ore Innocentium, Out of the Mouth of Babes. After being sung to many other hymn tunes, the tune Love Unknown, which is John Ireland's setting of this brilliant text by Samuel Crossman, first appeared in the revision of the Public School Hymnal, London 1919, and later in Songs of Praise, 1927. This setting of the text reflects the composer's genuinely amazing skills as a songwriter. To quote, a letter in the Daily Telegraph, April 1950, says that the tune was written in a quarter of an hour on a scrap of paper on the composer's receiving a request for a setting of the words. A quote from verse 2, but, O my friend indeed, who at my need his life did spend. A blessed Lenten season to you all.